Good afternoon, tabletop baseball fans. This is Tenacious Earl with the next game in the 2016 Tenacious Baseball League. Yankees Mets, so Subway Series. Have a little update on a couple things, but first we'll just mention that first game for both these teams, Tanaka on the mound for the Yankees, and Syndergaard will pitch for the Mets. So I'm going to take that stuff away. Two things. One, I've realized after some people pointed some things out that my method for doing what do you want to call it? Rainouts is insufficient given the fact that we're now doing weather effects and whatnot. What I had instituted in my last league was I would roll the D20, and if it were a 1, it would be a rainout. Well, now that we're using weather effects here in Super Advanced, we have a different way that we can do that, and one thing that was pointed out to me is that, which is very true, so what happened was Pittsburgh and San Diego, I rolled that and I got a 1, and it was rightly pointed out that San Diego is pretty well known for its dry weather, usually beautiful days and not much of a reason to cancel a ball game most days. Now there are rare occasions, but it's like once every 10 years. So I have sort of rethought this, and so I will be using this kind of roll here. So what we could do is, for instance, San Diego, I'm not going to do this. I'll do this game later on tonight potentially, but what we can do is San Diego, you have to roll a 20 on the D20 to get bad weather. And as you can see, it's varied based on where you're at. A place like Toronto has no weather effects, so you could see that. But in any regard, maybe temperature could be a little bit of a factor. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play it this way. If I get bad weather when I roll for weather, I will roll the D20 a second time, and if it's 1 to 5, it will be a rainout. And then if it is above that, it will be business as usual. So I think that way we can, that'll help us account for rainouts and whatnot. It won't be as contrived because obviously San Diego is not a place that is going to have it. Another thing, I think I mentioned it in the follow-up video last night, that was a recap of Angels and Blue Jays. Yeah, Blue Jays. I am going to continue. I'm going to make sure and use. Let me just write this down here. I'm going to use full injuries. I've gone back and watched the videos of the games that I played, and so I'm instituting that. And the reason why is because I have a ton of depth players, and let's use them. And I don't think what I worry about is time, but it won't be that big of a deal for us. You guys are pretty loyal from what I've seen, and I'm just going to go ahead and take whatever time is needed to deal with any injuries that come up, and we'll just bring up starters and relief pitchers and position players as needed. So Syndergaard is a -1. So both these pitchers, if we get 6-12, that is going to be an issue, and we'll need that D20 roll for injury. Now I've got to find my box. Where did you go? Oh, you're right here. Okay, so let's get the weather. Now what's really going to be wacky here is if I roll this and we get bad weather. Now so let's get New York, NL, 18 to 20, and that's a 15, so that is, let's see, New York, 15 to 20 is bad. Actually, this is a day game, so 15 is okay. So no problem, but it is going to be average weather, which means it's going to be, the singles are going to be 1 got a lot of pitchers parks. 1 to 11 for home runs. So we might see a few extra home runs here. Couple, maybe 1, maybe 2. We'll see. All right, so let me check the chat room. Hi, Steve. Hi, Baseball Demos. Hi, Utah Mike. Hi, Larry. Hi, Derek. So, +9 to run on Noah. Yeah, Utah Mike is going to be rooting for these Yankees. I know that. So, Darno is a +2. So, you're definitely going to get a jump on these guys if you're a Yankee. And the Yankees have some guys who can do it. So, let's see what we're going to do here. Got the lineup ready to go. We've got our ballpark effects in order. As you can see, we are using Mets colors here, blue and orange. So anyway, Brett Gardner will lead off. That'll be Jacoby Ellsbury. I think that's maybe flip-flop from what they usually do, but it's first game. We'll try something. Mark Teixeira in third, third hitting slot. Starlin Castro will be at second base. Teixeira at first, of course. Didi Gregorius shortstop. Aaron Hicks right, Brian McCann catching, Chase Headley at third base, and Tanaka with the #1 hitting card, and A-Rod will be on the bench, so he may get a chance to pinch hit here. So against Syndergaard, I believe, I think he's the one that's Thor, if I'm right. If I'm wrong, then someone can tell me. Brett Gardner. 3-9. That's a fly ball to left. And Conforto centers underneath it and makes the grab for the first out. Jacoby Ellsbury. 2-6. 2-6. And there is a single. And you can bet Ellsbury is going to be trying to get on the base paths here. Trying to do a little get activated here. Hold on a second, I gotta plug something in. So, yes, Syndergaard's definitely a guy who is not good at holding the runner close, and Darno does not do much as far as throwing. So, if you get a 2 through 5, 11, or 12, so they're gonna have to hold him on, but it would be so you add 5 to 16, 21. So 1 to 19 because holding them on will be -2. So they'll try to get a good lead here. Probably not great idea to hit and run. Let's see, that's a 6. So no good lead, but we could still do this. 5, that's 17 -4 is 13. With 1 out, they're going to take their chances on a 1 to 13 here for Ellsbury. Doesn't get a good lead. And he is thrown out by Darno. So, that's not stolen base. It's caught stealing. So, that makes 2 outs. Could have, the hit and run is not so good there with Teixeira. 2-8. 2-8, and that's a strikeout. So, go to the bottom of the first. No runs there for the Yankees. What? Okay. All right, well, anyway, Granderson will lead off for the Mets. Granderson, Cespedes will play. He's going to be in center. So Granderson right, Cespedes in center. Going based off their early lineups in the season, defensive setups there. So Walker at second, David Wright at third base. He'll get the starts until he runs out of starts or he gets injured. Lucas Duda at first, another guy who gets injured in the season, and so he will, as you can see, we may hit him here at some point. 2-8, pretty common. d'Arnaud catching, Conforto in left, Cabrera at short, and then Syndergaard pitching. A guy who pitches from the right side but hits as a lefty. How about that? Well, so hi Henry. No problem. Everybody, I understand. We do like to keep it clean here, but yeah, sometimes things happen, so no biggie. Granderson, 4-2. I didn't bring out Tanaka's card. Wow. All right, here we go. 4-2 lefty. Fly ball to center field. And that's Ellsbury who gets under that for the first out. Cespedes, 6-7 against a righty. 1-14 single. And a 15, the D20 at this point is wreaking havoc on both teams. That's going to be a U3 as Teixeira gets it. 2 down, Neil Walker. 4-10, he is batting from the left side. 4-10, ground ball to shortstop. And the shortstop is Gregorius, a 1E16, so, and we've got 14 there, so 18 on the 1, that's not the problem, it's the 14 with an E16, and an E16 for Gregorius and a 14 is a 1-base error, so a 2-out error allows Walker to reach. And so, let's see, Tanaka, he is a -1 and McCann is a +1, so it's just it's a neutral hold. But let's see, with 2 outs, Walker will try to get a lead. They're not holding him on, so needs a 4 and that's a 12, so no good lead there. Here's David Wright. And finish off his at bat here. 3-7. And that's a walk, so that will move Walker into scoring position for Lucas Duda. Yeah, and Henry, appreciate you putting out videos. Welcome to the community. We all appreciate having. We'd love to see more of the youth get involved in this game. Obviously, it's help cultivate players for the generations to come. So, Duda. .210. Ballpark home run, 1-11 on the 210. 1-11, and the Mets would take a 3-0 lead. And it is gone. Lucas Duda gets a hold of that one off Tanaka and goes yard with it. And that's 3 unearned runs on Tanaka's record there because of the error by Gregorius. 3-0 Mets. That's a rough roll there for. So d'Arnaud, 5-6 righty. Fly ball to center, that will end it. 3 runs with only 1 hit. The error, the walk, and then the home run. So bottom of the second. Yankees going to have to play a little catch-up here. Starlin Castro, 1-7. That's a ground ball to short. And Cabrera Makes the easy play to first. Didi Gregorius, 4-8, lefty. And that's a strikeout. 2 down. Syndergaard has getting some outs here. Aaron Hicks, 3-7. 3-7, a 1-8 single. And a 10 won't do the job. That'll be a line out to second and 1-2-3. That is true. Baseball demos. I would imagine Citi Field would hear its share of, maybe even in those words, exactly. To some Yankees fan that comes down the line to Flushing. So Conforto, 6-8. Lefty, 6-8, struck him out, 1 down. So what we have to watch out for is the 6-12. 6-12 is a potential injury for either guy. Asdrubal Cabrera, 3-9. 3-9 and another strikeout. Hi, Dave S. And Syndergaard, 6-7 against a lefty in a 1-10 single. Syndergaard is going to actually ground out to short, and Tanaka goes 1-2-3, cleans that inning up, and we will go to the third. He is taking a little extra time getting back out to the mound, trying to gather himself. He thought he beat out the throw, but so Brian McCann, 6-9 against the lefty, and he strikes out. 1 down. Chase Headley, 6-11. That's getting closer. Against a lefty, 6-11, struck him out. And Tanaka, and a 2-5, and he strikes out the side here in the top of the third. We'll go to the bottom. It's 3-0 Mets on top. Machado shut that crowd up. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's an unfortunate situation up there, and you know, for how much that region is held up as somehow, you know, great sports country and all the teams are awesome and everything, that's a black eye. And it'd be nice if you know, I believe in sovereign God, but if there were sports gods, I would really hope that it would rain down on the some of those areas, because you know, it's, as far as some of the that's just inappropriate. And I know it's not all the fans, it's probably just a very small portion, but still, come on, what century are we in, guys? Granderson, 1-5, struck him out. And of course I'm probably going to catch a lot of heck from Red Sox fans, but Cespedes, nothing against the team itself, I guess, but 4-7, another strikeout. Tanaka is starting to get warmed up here now after giving up that home run. All unearned runs, 2-8, and he strikes out the side. These guys are matching strikeouts here lately. And we go to the fourth, 3-0 Mets. Syndergaard has faced the minimum thus far. It'd be Brett Gardner, top of the order. Dave asks, yeah, well, I was talking with baseball demos offline a little bit, chatting them up, and we both think that was an aberration. We'll just have to see if I mean, I think that's Toronto in a nutshell, is hot or cold, but we'll see. Gardner, 0-for-1, 6-7 against a lefty. And that's a ground ball to second base. Tough play for Walker. 3E11. But an 18 will mean he gets to it. And a 7 on the E11. Second base. That is a good play. And Gardner is retired. Jacoby Ellsbury, maybe I should have let off with him. He's 1 for 1, but he was caught stealing. 4-7 against a lefty, and it's a walk. Second time he's been on base. He's going to play a little closer to the vest this time, I think. Well, he'll still try to get a lead. They're going to hold him on. Another 6. Well, not going to make the same mistake twice. Sending him Mark Teixeira. That's a 3-12. 3-12. Oh, my goodness. And that's a line shot right at Walker. And Walker doubles him off of first. Double play. And that ends the inning, or ends the top of the inning. And Yankees have not had things go their ways thus far. That's a tough way. The Lomax is a real tough one to have come up. So Tanaka has settled in. David Wright, he walked in his first at bat. 6-10 against a righty, fly ball to center. That's going to be Ellsbury. 2E4, good fielder, but a 1. Yikes. It's going to be 1-1, or 2-1 is a double. 2 for Ellsbury, and the 1 is a double. And then 11 on the E4 shouldn't be an issue. It isn't, but Wright with a double. See how long he can last. Same thing with Duda. Duda got hurt pretty early. Yeah, Duda with the big shot in the first inning. 6-7 against a lefty. 1-10 single would make first and third nobody out. And that is a 9, so that will be a single. Wright moves to third, and Mets are in business here. It's going to be Travis d'Arnaud. Duda is not going anywhere. They're not holding either runner on. And, no, it's leaning. We'll re-roll the D20. So 1-2. Well, they're playing back, so they will score the run there, but that's going to be a 6-4-3 double play. No RBI for d'Arnaud, but Wright does come in. And 4-0. Conforto. A little later in the game, maybe we would have thought about going home with it, or playing with the infield in there. Conforto, 2 outs, nobody on, 2-3. Ballpark single. Ballpark singles are, you need a 1 on the D20, and that's a 14. That's going to be a line out. 2, Starlin Castro, and they do pick up another run, some insurance there off Tanaka. And Yankees will come up with Castro, Gregorius, and Hicks. Hello there. What? Starlin Castro. They got to get something going here, and here's Syndergaard's card. The Syndergaard card. How about that for rhyming? 5-8 against a righty, and that's a strikeout. This is going to be a tough game for the Yankees, but should in theory be a tough game for the Mets too. 5-7, another strikeout. Gregorius with 2 in a row. Aaron Hicks, 5-5, batting from the left side. Normal power for Hicks. 1-4 a home run, 5-20 a double. And that is a 9, so a double with 2 outs for Hicks. Second hit off of Syndergaard. Brian McCann now. See if McCann can touch one here. Cut into this lead. 6-8. 6-8 against a lefty. Ground ball to second base. Walker will throw to Duda. And poor timing there for the double. Bottom of the fifth. Still 4-0. I guess the East Side New York team, I guess is what you'd call it. Asdrubal Cabrera, 5-12. Ground ball. Oh, he's batting from the left. It's ground ball to second base. Castro, 3E14. Whoa, there goes the D20. We'll re-roll it. Forge. Single. And a 6 on the E14. So a single for Cabrera. It's going to bring up Syndergaard. Syndergaard, not much of a bunter. But with a 4-run lead, they will send him up there to bunt. Yankees will expect it, so it's an E and a 1 on the D20. So that's first off. So potential wild pitch here for Tanaka. 1-8. 14, no wild pitch, so going to try again with the E bunt. Try to move the runner over 8 as they're playing in. So that's a 1-2, so they will take the bunt off, and they're going to let Syndergaard swing away now with a 1-2 count. 3-8, and he strikes out. So 1 down. Cabrera, any speed here? Well, it's worth trying to get a lead with him, maybe with 1 out. The 3, but it's a 7, so no. Does not get a good lead. Granderson, they're not holding him on. And another 1 on the D20. So, but a 20 means no wild pitch. So Granderson, 110, struck him out, 2 down, brings up Yoenis Cespedes. He is 0 for 2, strikeout and a grounder. Oh. And I got to roll that one because it went flying. So that's a 9, so we can just roll this again. 4-5 against a righty and a fly ball to right. 0 for 3 for Cespedes, 0 for 6 for the top of the order, but the Mets are still faring just fine here in the going to the top of the 6th. 4-0. I mean, Syndergaard, 2.60 ERA, so tough sledding. Tough sledding. Chase Headley. The question will be whether you bring out Tanaka here or let him go, because he has done pretty well after the initial surge. 4-6, batting from the left. Struck him out. With nobody on, they're going to stick with Tanaka. 3-6, ground ball to short. 2 down. Brett Gardner, 0 for 2. 2-11. Ballpark single. This is not the ballpark to get a ballpark single. And a 13. Let me just double check this. Yeah, boy. If it's a bad day in New York, you're never getting a single. Same thing with Philadelphia. That's a 13, so that's a line out to Gardner is a lefty. So line out to Walker. Fans might wonder if we should have. Public service announcement. Please do not hit the dislike button on these videos. The Earls put a lot of time and effort into the videos. Well, yeah, I mean, that's everybody's prerogative. It definitely, some days are better than others when it comes to that. But, you know, If you don't like it, then don't stop by. I mean, there's lots of people out there. Lots of videos. You can go watch some Minecraft or some old, you know, I don't know, air supply videos, whatever floats your boat. Neil Walker against Tanaka, so they leave Tanaka in. Better not come back to bite him at this point. From the left side here, that is a grounder to first, and Teixeira takes it straight to the bag. He beats him by a couple steps. David Wright doubled and walked and scored both times. 6-9 against a righty, and another walk. Wright is having it all right today. Duda, 3-6, 3-6, and that's a line out, a sharp shot, but right at Gregorius. And so, with two outs, David Wright, Darno at the plate. David Wright will try and get a good lead here. He needs a 3, 6, or 7 if it's a 12, and it's an 11. So not a problem there. But if it was a 12, he would have been thrown out right off the bat. So Darno will get a chance to hit now. 5-6 against a righty, and that's a fly ball to center. And so this was the 6th, so that's Tanaka's inning of weakness, and he is still in good shape. So it's also Syndergaard's. We're going to the top of the 7th, and 4-0 Mets. Pretty expeditious game so far. Not taking too long. 2-5, and a single for Ellsbury. See if the Yankees can start to mount a rally. So Teixeira, well, I'll tell you what, with that +5, Ellsbury would be remiss not to try and get a good lead. And he gets a 5, but it's a 1 on the D20. So Syndergaard, that is, let's see, a potential pickoff. Now, so potential pickoff, it means it has to be, if it's 1 to 12, he gets back in. If it's above a 12, he is out. And he is picked off. My word. Nothing is going right for the Yankees today. And it's going to be a 1-3. I'm sorry, Utah, Mike. It's not going to go this way every day. That's a strikeout, 1-9. 2 strikeouts for Teixeira, 0 for 3. Starlin Castro. 5-4 against a righty. Ballpark single. And as you said, it's going to be a tough one to get through. It's a 6. It's going to be a line out to Gregorius. Or not Gregorius. Asdrubal Cabrera. Got Gregorius on the mind. All right, 7th inning stretch. Take a moment to stretch. If you're a Yankees fan, you can get your Tenacious Earl voodoo doll at the league, the store, the Tenacious Baseball League store. There's voodoo dolls available there, and pins that you can impart specific pain in specific areas if you want. You hit it at the right time, it might get the dice to roll the right way, but I guess that's for really any team that is getting... actually, what you probably should try to do is find the voodoo doll dice. That might be better. The good news is that nobody's gotten injured yet. So, now, the question is, do we want to take Tanaka out yet? And there's no real reason to until the 8th. If we were going to take him out, it would have been last inning, or 2 innings ago. So, but the Yankees will have So at the bottom of the 7th, look at Andrew Miller. You know what? We're going to kind of like to save him for better days, but the rest of their bullpen, well, yeah, they're going to get Chase and Shreve ready to go, so they don't want to. They'd rather not use the guys that they when they're behind too much, but if they have to, they will. So Conforto will face Tanaka here to lead off, 3-10. Ballpark single. Good news is that it's that way for everybody, and so it needs a 1, and it isn't. So a line out to Castro. That's 1 away. Asdrubal Cabrera. He is 1 for 2. 5-8. Batting from the left side. Ground ball to second X. Castro 3, E14. Well, the 14 on the 3 will be fine. He'll get to it. And on a 13 on an E14. And he makes a good throw for the second out. And Syndergaard to the plate. They're going to keep him in. So 4-10 against a lefty. 4-10 ground ball to short. So that will be Gregorius 1 E16. 18 is fine, and so it's the E16. And a 12 is going to be an out made, and so going to the 8th inning, still 4-0. Yankees getting shut out so far. Syndergaard has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 strikeouts in the game so far. Yankees send Gregorius, Hicks, McCann to the plate. I think Yankees will probably go to the bullpen after this, regardless of what happens. So Gregorius 4-7 against a lefty. And that's a start. That's a walk. With McCann, a lefty, coming up, they're going to get Jerry Blevins ready to go. They'll also have Addison Reed from the right side going in case they need somebody to fill in there real quick. Aaron Hicks. So Gregorius, well, got somebody picked off last time, but if you're gonna be scared of a pickoff, then probably should not play baseball. Gonna try to get a 4 here. They need to get something going. That's a 10, so no such luck. Aaron Hicks can continue with his at bat. 4-7. Batting from the left again, another 4-7. That will be a walk, and so 2 walks in a row from Syndergaard, and that brings up McCann. And I think the Mets will have enough of Syndergaard losing a little bit of control there, and they don't want to take any chances. So they're going to go with Blevins against McCann. So give me a second here while I... Syndergaard went 7 innings. Pretty quick hook here for him, but Blevins, and so that's going to be he will go in the pitcher's spot, the 9 hole, and he is a 0, so he will not get hurt. Unless he comes to bat, maybe. So, all right, Blevins facing Brian McCann. 2 on, nobody out against the lefty. 1-3. Ballpark single. probably would prefer to have the ground ball C at this point, but that is going to be a ballpark single. A 1 is necessary, and that's a 19. It looks like a 1, but it's a 19. I can move it here. So that's a line out to second base, Walker, and that's the first out. Chase Headley, he'll be batting from the right. They're going to leave Blevins in to face him. And a 1-7. 1-7, and that's a single. That'll score a run. Single off Blevins. Gregorius comes around to score. Hicks rolls into third easily, and 4-1. And Tanaka's spot's going to come up, and with 2 on and 1 away, the Yankees, they're going to go, let's see, what are they going to do here? That's interesting. I want to look at something real quick. They're going to bring in Carlos Beltran to pinch hit here. So and the Mets are going to make the move to Reed now. So Blevins, he goes a third of an inning. And Addison Reed is also a 0 for what do I want to say, for injury, so that's good. All right, so first and third, 1 out. It's going to be Carlos Beltran facing Addison Reed. Chase Headley. Now Addison Reed, a much better guy at holding the runner on. So -6, and then Darno's +2. That means -4. So 16 -4 -2. 1 to 10 chance. They're going to go ahead and pitch to Beltran, or he's not going to try to take a lead here. They're not having to hold Headley on. And a 2, you won't believe it. There's a 2 on the D20. I'm going to try to move this so it doesn't. You can see there a 2 on the D20. So means a potential passed ball or balk. So let's see. Reed has a 0 balk. It's a potential passed ball. And I always forget if this is off of the catcher. Catcher's passed ball rating. Darno is a 1 or 2. So it's 17, so no passed ball. So Beltran still at the plate here. First and third, 1 away. 6-10. Batting from the left side. Ground ball to short. And that's Cabrera. He's a 3-E-8. They weren't holding the runner on. And a 9. 3 and a 9 is a G3. And 14 with an E8. No error. What's the G3 say? G3, first and third. Runners advance. So that will get a run home. That'll be an RBI. They were not playing the infield in. They were hoping for double play, but this is not a double play ball. This is going to be 6-3. Hard charger there that Cabrera has to make the play at first and be happy with it. So 2 down. We'll leave Beltran there just in case. So that's going to leave a runner at second. 4-2. Mets still in the lead. 2 outs. Runner at second. It's going to be Brett Gardner at the plate against Addison Reed. 2-4. And that's a walk. First time Gardner's been on. So Jacoby Ellsbury now, first and second, 2 down. Can Ellsbury come up with a big hit here? 5-7 against a lefty. Fly ball to center field. And Cespedes gets underneath it and makes the play. And so the rally is at least held to a minimum of 2 there. So they'll get Familia ready there for the 9th. And the Mets will come to bat. The Yankees will have to go to their pen. To try and hold this tight, they are going to they're not going to use Shreve. They're going to go ahead with Andrew Miller. Try to keep it a tight game here. Miller, let's see. What I need to do is come up with an easier list to. So he's on Cleveland sheet. Miller, 0. These relief pitchers obviously do not face as many batters. So Tanaka went 7 innings. I think I've managed this reasonably for the Yankees. It's not perfect, of course. So so Syndergaard is no longer in there. We need to. Yeah, I'll leave him in there as a placeholder. And I forgot to mark down Y. And this is Z, and he is going to go. Actually, we haven't quite gotten to where we've rolled anything. Let's do this a little differently. Let me see something here. We're gonna make a little double switch here. So we had A is gonna stay in the game. He's gonna play. Let me just see if I assume that Beltran is available in left or in center. He's right field, so Hicks is playing right. We can move. We should be able to move Hicks to. Where is Hicks? There you are. Yeah, we can move him to left. We're gonna put Miller up here. No real intention of, but I'd like to have Beltran in there just in case. Well, just in case. So Beltran's going to play in right field. It's kind of going to be a defensive step down most likely, but 5 minus 1 E3. He's a 10. And Gardner is out, so I won't bother with the pitcher's ratings there. All right, so a little switch there defensively. I think that makes some sense. If they can bat down the lineup, they'd love to be able to get Beltran another at bat. So Granderson against Miller, and you can't see that card, can you? 6-8 against a lefty, struck him out. Jonas Cespedes 0 for 3. 1-7, draws a walk. First time on base. Miller's pretty good at holding. We're not even going to think about it. Neil Walker. Batting from the right side, 5-7, struck him out. 2 down. Whoops, why am I putting 7? Because I thought 5-7, I put a 7. So that's a strikeout. 2 down, David Wright. 5-3 against a righty. Ground ball back to Miller. He's a 4E0. 16. I don't even have to look at that because it's an E0. 16 should be perfect, and so he makes the play. and Miller a good ninth, or good bottom of the eighth, even though he did give up a walk. The Mets will bring in Familia to try and get the save. 4-2 game, top of the ninth. All right, so he's going to be next. And they're going to leave it this way. So Juris Familia will take the hill against Teixeira, Castro, and Gregorius. May have to do a little pinch hitting here with A-Rod at some point if the mood strikes. Teixeira, 6'9", also Familia. Familia is a 0, so I'll eventually remember all these. Be nice when they start printing them on the card. 6'9", batting from the left, struck him out. 1 down. 3 strikeouts for Teixeira. Starlin, let's see. Let's see what kind of. They have a couple of. What do you want to call them? Utility guys. They're gonna pinch hit for Castro here. Bring in A-Rod. Maybe not. I'm going to try and manage it the way they would manage it. So A-Rod pinch hitting here. 3-12. Hit by pitch. That's what just about every opposing pitcher wants to do to A-Rod probably at this point. So, tying run to the plate. Didi Gregorius with a chance to tie this ball game. 5-12 against a lefty. Ground ball to second base. X. That's Neil Walker. They were not holding A-Rod on. Probably should have tried pinch running for him. Oh well. Make them make a decision on that. 3-11. 3-16. G1 and a 13. He's an E11. No error, G1. That is going to be a double play, 4-6-3, and the ball game will be over. The Mets pull it out there. Familia gets a save, and even though Familia decided to put a bruise on the side of A-Rod's arm, the Mets still don't pay the price for that. They move to 1-0. Yankees go to 0-1. Tanaka gets the loss, the victory for Noah Syndergaard. Again, the save for Familia with, I think both Blevins and Reed should get a hold for that. Although sometimes the Strat PC program doesn't always get that right. So, anyway, Mike M is on. Oh, Mike McAllister, yeah. So let me turn this up here. So, opening day starters, all that good stuff. Mets probably have the advantage most times. Yankees got some rough luck there, though, so that's unfortunate. I think it's tough to have say I can't. When a team gets behind, it's tough for me to root against them. So I was trying to play the Yankees straight up and both teams straight up. So anyway, I would imagine the Yankees will get one of these games because they're definitely a formidable lineup. I've got to look and see how much Beltran played, because it's kind of suspicious to me that I didn't put him in the lineup now that I think about it more. I mean, let me see. I mean, I have him listed as their fourth outfielder, Beltran, in my depth chart. I mean, I think he's a better hitter than that, but obviously he does not play the position particularly well anymore. Doesn't have the range, and maybe when you have a DH that helps. So with no DH, he's another guy that's going to see some more limited action than what he might have in the regular season. So let me see. Hi, Mike McAllister. Anybody else here that I missed? ID Jester. Yeah. Hello. Yankees have 53 more. Just going back through. Hi there, Phanomatic. How you doing? So anyway, a few Mets fans hanging around. You guys get the victory. Good game all around. Good pitching outing there by Syndergaard. And the Yankees made it a little bit tight there. But anyway, I'm going to get going. I think I will do Pittsburgh, San Diego tonight. Although, I don't know what to see. Like I said, I've changing the way I'm setting up the weather stuff as far as raining. So it's probably not going to rain in San Diego. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Mets win 4-2. Syndergaard gets his first victory, and big home run from Duda. We'll see how long he is able to stay healthy in this league. So until next time, Strat on, guys.